Attention! The following video may contain fun, humor, profanity, personal opinions, political incorrectness, and so on. If you are under the age of 18 or are easily offended by something as simple as gendered words, then I suggest you turn this video off and watch something more suited to you. Something like Sesame Street. Don't say I didn't warn you.
How dare you!
G'day guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to those that are possibly here for the first time. This video is a bit of a test and tune video for my Team Associated DR10 drag car. So if you watched the very first video about this car, it was an unboxing and a build, and I went over about I was quite a bit disappointed in the build. One, I had rusty CVAs and drive shafts. I had some screws missing. Plus, one of the biggest, probably the third and biggest thing that I found very annoying was the shocks in the kit. And this seems to be a common thing with this particular kit, both the kit version and the ready to run version. So what I've done, and silly me, I've put all these parts on. I thought to myself, well, hang on a sec, I had a golden opportunity to do a video on it. So this is basically going to show what I've done, and we're going to go out and test it. So if you remember this, if you watched the second video, I had nothing but issues trying to get it to go in a straight line. And it did come down to a dirty surface, and also it also came down to shock inconsistency. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look over it at the table, and I'll show you what I've done. Alright guys, so here we have the car. So at the moment, it's just sitting pretty here for the moment. So I'll pop the hood, as they say, and we'll have a look at what I have done. So I've done a few other things with the car as well, and I've looked at some pictures of cars and so forth on the internet just to see, have a look at some of the customization that's been done. So one of the first things you'll probably notice is the location of the ESC. So if you remember in the build, I had the ESC over here and the cap pack a little bit further forward. But if you look here closely, I've got a carbon fiber mount. I have a sheet of carbon fiber, and I've been making some parts for both this car and my other no prep car. So what I've done is just made a simple carbon fiber plate that sits on the back here. Well, it screws on the back, and I've mounted the ESC so it's a little bit further back and it's in the middle. Just I've seen a few guys do that, and I've seen some of the dedicated drag chassis like that. So it's a little bit of a tuning option to have a go at. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. So it means that some wires were relocated, I rewired it and so forth. We go around the back here. I've put a factory team motor plate on purely for a bit of bling. It might even act as a bit of a I guess you call it a bit of a heat sink, help dissipate some heat. We'll have to wait and see, but it seems to fit nicely. I did, however, this motor plate does seem to be for the B5M 3-gear transmission, so mid-motor, that and so forth, because the countersunk, because the holes where they're countersunk are on this side, so I had to make a little spacer just to bring this plate out across a little bit, just so it wasn't rubbing up against the nuts or the bolts holding the plate on. So that's on there. One of the big things is in here on the drive line. I'm sorry you can't see it, guys. I haven't got my torch with me, but I have new CVA dog bones, and in here I have the new Exotec titanium CVA hubs, or like shafts for the hub. Should, if anything, give it some durability. So that's on. I've also put some Team Losi Racing springs on the back here. These are, from memory, 4.45 pound rating. I can't quite remember, but I'll put it down here what the spring rate is. That is hopefully going to be a good tuning option for the car. But the big, I guess you could call it the big thing, is the shock caps. So as you might recall, these here are the original shock caps. There's no bleeding these shocks is an absolute pain in the butt. And I put it down, and I found too, when you would put the shock cap on the actual shock body, it would push the O-ring out, and it would squash the O-ring. And so what I've done is these are shock caps for a Team Associated B6D board, B6.1 D or Carpet Edition, whichever one. I'm pretty sure they're both the same, but yeah, these are the shock caps for that. And so I replaced the O-rings inside there as well, and the shocks are buttery smooth now. There's, like, you can't even hear any squelching. It sounds, yeah, real buttery smooth, real quiet. I've had to use quite a few of these clips because these are very short springs, but it's just for the ride height to get it right. So now, just to address something too, I had a bit of some negative comments posted. Unfortunately, no one will see them because they get screened, but basically some people saying, oh, I've got no clue what I'm doing, I don't know how to drive, blah blah blah. For the record, guys, I've been doing this for about 20 years, and I'm not afraid to admit that this no prep stuff is new to me, but it is a learning curve, and it is something new to try, and it's purely to have fun with. So keep your negativity out. Anyway, so I also, while it's in my head too, guys, when it comes to shock oils, I'm using, where's the other one? Sorry about the noisy chair, guys. So for shock oil, I'm using 20 weight shock oil in the front, and I am using 100 CST or 100 weight, sorry, 100 weight Team Losi. So this is the purple 100 weight oil in the rear. Again, Team Losi Racing springs on the rear. These are, like I said, I'm pretty sure they're 4.45 pound. They're the gold spring for those playing at home. Like I said, I'll have the spring rate down the bottom there, and these are the kit springs on the front still. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to head out to my test location and we're going to give it a rip. Alright guys, I have got all the parts installed. So I brought a broom with me this time. We're in this location again where I tested my other no prep car, and I decided to broom it down just to see if it makes a difference. So just gotta I better get the car out so I can read satellites. So we'll see how we go. We'll just give it a quick warm up. Alright, that should be good. Start. Alright, let's see how we go. Yeah, this is as I expected. It's really dirty. We had some rain here the other day, and it looks like I might have to broom a bit more. So just give me a moment, guys. Alright. Let's try this again. You can probably see where, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, where I've broomed. It still may not be enough. I think I'm going to have to invest in a blower, like a small one, electric one, just to blow the area down. So I'll just put that on start, do another warm up. Alright, that should be good. Yeah, it's registering. Alright, let's give it a hit. Well, that was good. That's a lot better. Stop. Read. 66k an hour. Alright, that's good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just adjust the slipper clutch now that I know I can get a bit of a launch off the line. Alright, just a small adjustment. Sorry about the noise. Alright, put that on start. Alright, just quickly warm it up. Alright. It'll have to be a short hit, guys, because there's someone walking across. There we go. Yeah, well, doesn't really matter. She's got every right to have a go, walk across and that. Let's see, 57k an hour. Yeah, that was just a small hit, because I didn't want to run the risk of hitting that lady. So let's do it again. see how we go. I don't want to go too hard because, as you remember with the other video, with the other car, went straight off the tarmac. And this is a lot faster, this car. Alright, let's see what kind of speed we got up to. Stop, read, 69k an hour. Giggity. And that was, again guys, that was just another small hit. Alright, what I might do is I might tighten up the slipper clutch a little bit more and we'll see how we go. Alright guys, let's get ready to do another hit. And I'm a popular person today. Start. Alright, let's warm it up. Alright. Here we go. As you can see guys, this is really dirty, so I'm glad I broomed off this small area. Okay, stop, read, 66. Yeah, I'm probably not holding it on for too long. Like I said, I'm just worried I'm going to go off the edge, but give me a moment guys, I'm going to just check battery voltage and we'll go from there. Alright guys, I'm going to have to make this the last pass for this car. Even though it's a 6,000 milliamp hour pack, this battery, this motor does suck some energy out of it. So I've just tightened up the slipper a little bit more, and I'm going to do my best to keep it straight. I'm gonna also have to make it the last pass as there's some cars starting to turn up and the weather's looking a little bit crap. So alright, last hit. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, stop, read, yeah, alright, let's keep it out of the dirt and let's see how we go. Yeah, there is just crap everywhere. Alright, there we go. Did we crack 70? Yes! Right on 70k now. And that's with the when I did the first couple of passes, the battery was fully charged. On this pass just now, the battery is at 8 volts. So it's a little bit down. But 70k an hour with the slipper clutch up a little, tightened up a bit more, so that's good. Well guys, I'm going to call that a successful test. While the motor plate wasn't really giving me any advantage. The springs definitely helped, even though I had to use clips to space the spring to get the right height. It definitely made a difference. And yeah, so, and I mean the Exotec parts, the CVA parts, they were, I mean, if anything, they're a little bit more durable. And definitely the shock caps. If you buy a DR10, and whether it's ready to run or a kit, honestly, I recommend the very first thing you upgrade it on it is the shock caps. And so what I'm going to do is down, like I said in the intro of the video, down below I'll have a part number and a link to the part that I use for the shocks. It definitely made a big difference. There was no leaking, there was no inconsistency. And as you could, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera or through the camera, but what I could see was a lot of dirt and dust, and that did contribute to my traction issues. So I'm calling that a successful test. I'm definitely going to have to bring a couple of batteries with me. The bigger battery, because I've been using shorty packs. While the shorty packs had a higher C rating, the extra weight of the standard size pack definitely helped make the car a bit more planted. So that's the end of this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to give it a like. And as always, if you got questions or if you got tips for me, I'm all open to it. So enjoy your hobby, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.